Hello, everyone. Welcome again to K Podcast. I am your host, as usual, Karen Truth. So today I got news and I got tea. I mean, this story is probably gonna be long because there is a lot of space and a lot of things to be talked about in this particular drama that you're about to see. Now, there is this young man on TikTok. He was complaining, actually talking about he met a girl and they went on a date twice and they actually slept together. And he didn't mention that he had kids to the lady he was seeing. And when she found out that he had kids, she said she wasn't going to date him anymore. And I'm gonna be providing you guys with a lot and lot more stories today of women saying like, no, I don't want to have kids. No, I want to be single for life. I want to enjoy my single life. I want a stress-free life. And some men actually getting in their feelings. Let's not forget, this is what men started at the first time. They started this first. This is the thing. You can start it, but can you finish it? Even one guy coming out and saying at this point he's looking for somebody's baby mama. And I laughed. I literally laughed. I'm like, wait, I thought you guys hated baby mamas. I thought you guys hated women that had children. Oh, so it's beginning to dawn on you when you have kids to take care of. And even in other case, there was another case of a guy having full custody of his kids and then crying at the end of the day about, the ex enjoying herself and flexing with her friends and not doing what he expect her to do. But hey, he filed for full custody. She gave it to him and she paid the child support. And I think many of these men are about to find out what women are going through, both the ones that are out here talking about child support. Yeah, I always tell women, if he wants to have full custody of the child, give it. The child will grow up at the end of the day, and you will have the time to tell your own story and tell the child what actually happened in that relationship. So with that being said, he was crying. He actually went back to the court. Even a lawyer was talking about this one time and saying that she has seen many men. You cannot believe how many times a man would actually apply for full child custody or be the man caregiver because of he doesn't want to pay child support. He thinks that crumbs that is giving the eggs or the mother of his children is too much. It's probably going to buy her a Bugatti. And then they find out the hard way that, hey, there is a lot of work in this. Raising kids is actually hard. It's a hard work. Yes. So now we got a guy in this particular video that is looking for people's baby mama because at this point he's done. He's like, no, if you got a baby mama, I'm coming because, he's tired of being single, but I'm pretty sure he gets help. But at the same time, I want women to actually see this because having a child is a lot of work. That is one thing that men do not really understand because most of the time they are not the main caregiver, even in the household. The mother has to do a lot. I've seen women have 3, 4 kids. They go to work, they finish work, they come back home and they start cooking, cleaning, doing the laundry. And the man just sits down, cross his leg, start watching the news, one beer in his hand, enjoying himself. That's the free life that society have given to men, and women have actually condoned it for a long time. Nowadays women are like, I'm not even gonna have a kid. And some women are like, I'm not even gonna date a guy that have kids. And I absolutely understand the women that say they don't want to have to date a guy that have kids. Like I've literally seen this, a woman that actually she has one kid. So she was going on a date and she met another guy that had a kid. Normally, you would think since they both have a kid, that she would go and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to date this guy. I'm going to be with this guy. Homegirl came home and said, nah, see, I want to take care of my kid because if I go over there, I'm going to have double the labor. I'm going to have to take care of him. I'm going to have to take care of his kid. I'm going to have to take care of my kid. Now I have double the work than if I would just stay with my kid. Even women with kids now are like, no. Some women with kids now don't even want to do that. They're like, If you have kids, I have kids, because at the end of the day, as a woman, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be taking care of the household. So some women, even when they have kids now, they're not looking for guys that have kids. And this is something that a lot of men are going to learn the hard way, because when they are out here on podcasts opening their mouth, they don't know what is coming. Women, one thing I like about women, we're going to watch you for a while, and one time we're going to be fed up enough to say, oh, well, that's it. Well, that's it. So I'm going to bring up this video where he was trying to explain how the date was nice and how he wants to see her again. I'm like, homegirl done took off her shoes and ran. She literally took off her shoes and be like, no, I'm not going to be cheap labor. She was like, no, I'm not going to be cheap labor. I'm not going to be sitting down here taking care of your kids. I have my life. I have life to live. So let's get into these videos, and I'm going to be giving you guys my commentary as we go through it. Now, before we continue, I'm going to say this: please press that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notification buttons, because I'm going to be giving you guys more and more juicy story in this particular section of YouTube. So let's get into it. Let's get into it.
And run to the comments and say, well, we want to be.
Oh,
first person I've gone on a date with in a few months now. It's hard to get the feeling like anybody actually views you like anything more than just another option. And when I get that feeling, I don't usually continue to pursue.
Okay, he has music in the background. I'm probably gonna have to edit all that part later on. But let's continue. So he is not used to the rejection, probably. And this is shocking to him. And he gives a long, long pause. You know what? Let me check where he doesn't play the music, because I don't want to get copyright.
Kind of feel like the mood shifted a little bit. I asked her if she still wanted to see me again, because I
Hold on, I think I went too far. Let me check where he actually tells you about how they spent the night together before he even opened up.
I'm feeling safe, and like it feels nice. I don't remember what she said, but something about kids, and I mentioned that I have kids, and she asks questions, I tell her about them. I kind of feel like the mood shifted a little bit. I asked her if she still wanted to see me again, because I kind of got this vibe, and she said that she doesn't date guys with kids.
Oh, how the table have turned. Now, I hope they're gonna be getting. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be getting all of this, because when I see some men on YouTube here shouting, "I don't want no baby mama. I don't want women with kids." Yeah, you're forgetting that those kids, are other men's kids, because at the end of the day, some of these men have kids with other women, but the women are the ones that are the kids are with. So more or less, they're gonna come out here and enjoy. But once they have custody of those kids, that is where they start feeling the bond. They start understanding. It's not that easy. I'm gonna just give him an advice. See, bruh, first thing first, don't blame her for not wanting to stay with you because you have kids. That's the first thing. It's not her kids. I'm pretty sure he made these videos so that a lot of people would talk bad about her and say, "Oh my God, she's so heartless. Um she left you because of you have kids. That's just crazy." I'm like, no, it's not. Men do it all the time. They hear you have kids, they start running. They've been here on YouTube telling everybody that they don't want a woman with kids. And now, when the table turn, all of a sudden we want to talk about a woman that didn't want to stay. Excuse me. Yeah, women have been going through this for a long, long time. So pick a number. Now we're gonna move on to the next one. The baby daddy that is looking for somebody's baby mama. Let's just get into it.
I clarified that, I wasn't looking for somebody to step in as a mom.
Mm-hmm.
I got home and I didn't want to sit with that, so I sent her a text, saying that one more time. You know, I would just want to see you again. I don't need you to be this other thing. It doesn't need to be anything other than us just enjoying time together. But
at the end of the day, she's gonna be doing all the work, and you know that. At the end of the day, she's gonna be doing all the work, all the labor in the house. And don't say, "Oh, I don't want you to do this," and that. Hey, you know what you're looking for. You should have stayed with the mother of your kids, or well, maybe look for somebody that have kids. But nowadays it's hard. Even people that have kids are running away. Like, have you seen them? Yeah, I've seen women out here with one kid, not even wanting a guy that have a kid. Like, before it would sound crazy, but nowadays it's not crazy anymore because the women are looking at the emotional labor that is in there, which they should.
fuck.
Yeah, all the long pause.
Look, y'all, this popped up on my FYP, and this is the perfect example of why I always say there's no such thing as a single dad. This man probably has lots of help. He just never expected that he was going to be the one to actually have to take care of his own kids. Look at the caption. He doesn't say, I'd like a nice woman who has the same values as me and blah, blah, blah. No. He said, I need help with these damn kids. They see you as a labor source, especially if they have kids.
Okay, I was sorry, my microphone was off, so I was reading what he was writing here on the on the screen. He was like, after it, hold on, let me enlarge the screen. By the way, let me enlarge the screen. So it's like after a divorce, there comes a point where you realize it's time to take someone else's baby mama and live happily ever after. Bruh, let me tell you something. Even them baby mamas are out the doors nowadays because they know the emotional labor that is attached to this. When they come in there, they're gonna take care of you and your kids, and you're probably gonna sit down and put your legs up and drink a beer. And she probably gonna get a job too. Even women that have kids nowadays don't want it. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen women with kids or a woman that have one kid and she's like, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not doing that with you. I have my kid to take care of. I'm not gonna come into this relationship with me having a kid and you having a kid, and then I have to take care of you, your kids, and my kids. That's a lot of labor. And at this point, I'm just gonna say, ladies, yeah, I think it's starting to backfire. It's starting to backfire really hard because some men are out here now crying. Even I've seen the ones that don't even have kids crying about, no woman wants me. I've been very nice. I've been a nice guy. And no woman wants to stay with me. I'm like, yeah, you remember the podcast? All the Andrew Tate fans, they were like, I don't want any woman with kids. Well, women don't want you with kids either. The table is turning. I hope that men enjoy what is coming because not only this, women are actually deciding not to have kids and to be single for the rest of their lives. Yes, and live happily ever after. You see the happily ever after he wrote on this? Yeah, he said he wants somebody's baby mama so he can live happily ever after. The happily ever after is probably for him, not for the woman, because she's going to be doing a lot of labor in that household. She's going to be taking care of him, his kids, and her own kids, because what he wrote here was he's looking for somebody's baby mama. Probably the girls with no kids, they're not looking, they're not interested in him. Like the first guy that went out, even slept with the girl on the second date and let's just remember the first guy, he never told the girl he went on a date with. He didn't tell her. After the second night, after they slept together, he didn't tell her that, he had kids. It was later on that he mentioned the kids, and the girl took off her flip-flops and ran. She was like, "No, no, thank you very much." She ran. She was like, "See you." And this one over here is talking about taking somebody's baby mama. It makes me laugh. This is just the beginning, by the way, because they're about to land. So let's continue.
Like a nice woman who has the same values as me and blah, blah, blah. No. He said, I need help with these damn kids. They see you as a labor source, especially if they have kids.
Made a video that went viral recently about how women are prioritizing peace over low-grade, low-effort relationships with men. And the number one comment that I got from men was, well, fine, if you can live without us, we're just not going to protect you anymore.
Sometimes when they come up with this, I'm not going to protect you anymore. What are you protecting me from? Polar bear? Are you protecting me from the polar bear or mountain lion? So what are you protecting me from? I live in somewhere I can't see any animals. Oh, I understand the protection you're talking about. You're talking about other men. That's the protection you want to one up on me. Talk about, oh, you won't be getting protection if you don't want me. For what? There are cops everywhere. Just call the cops. You're going to find yourself in jail real fast. Protection of what? So if she doesn't want you, you're going to be beaten. Well, it's and the fact is, women have never been protected for a long time now. You've been seeing domestic abuse, women getting abused. Oh my God, I forgot a video that I wanted to put attached to this particular video when I was editing it. There was this lady. I'm going to just tell you guys the story, the whole of the video. I'm just going to let you guys know what happened in the video. So in this video, the baby was crying. The baby was crying, and I think he or she was eating, but the food was all over the floor. Like the mother was probably stressed. And she was upstairs. The child was really, really crying. Like you could hear the child screaming. The father came. When the father came, he just walked by, passed the child, went to the other room, and then came back and left. Didn't pick up the child, by the way. So that's one of the things that women have to deal with when they talk about this so-called protection. Let me tell you guys, when they talk about this so-called protection, then in fact, some women need protection from their partners. So the mother comes down and she said something like, your father did something. Your father is a terrible person. He's not helping out with the house chores. This man didn't wear any t-shirt, no shirt at all. He was walking shirtless. He came down. I saw that video. I'm like, this is what they're telling women when they talk about protection. Who's gonna protect her from this man? He literally put his hands around his neck, and you saw it in camera. Put his hands around his neck, around her neck. When they talk about protection, I'm like, women are probably more safer on their own than with you in the same house, because some of you are absolutely violent. A lot of women get beaten by their partners. Many women die in the hands of their partners. And so when it comes to protection, from who? If she's single, she doesn't have you there inflicting pain and violence on her. So you can miss me with the protection topic. Now let's continue.
So first of all, who exactly are you protecting us from? Is it Sarah that we're afraid is going to break into our home and assault us? Or is it men? Is it men that you're protecting us from? Secondly, when women say that we'd rather have peace and safety, we're not talking about physical safety. We're talking about emotional safety. The reason there is an epidemic of lonely depression.
I'm going to say plus physical safety, plus that. Because with things that I've seen in TikTok, men behaving like wild animals, some men, not all men, before they come over here and say, oh my God, you said all men. No, some men behaving like wild animals. I'm like, wow, okay. And women don't want to put up with that anymore. A lot of women don't want to put up with that. And I don't blame them. I don't blame anybody. Because imagine if you're single, you're chilling in your house safely. You don't have to deal with anybody in that same house but yourself. In peace, by the way. Let's continue.
Oppress men is because women would rather be alone than in an emotionally unsafe relationship. I feel that we're in emotional danger when we can't be vulnerable and express how we feel, or being constantly criticized or put down or ignored. For all the men run to the comments and say, well, we want to be valued too. Yes, you deserve that. But why are 72% of divorces initiated by women? And why statistically are women thriving in singledom and men are not? It is because women en masse are willing to put in the work, be self-reflective, and do what it takes to show up, and men
I have a Reddit.
And men simply don't. Many of them don't. So we're gonna go into this one over here about a woman that left her. I think she left her husband. So I want you guys to hear this story because I told you guys I brought a lot of stories out here for you guys to hear what women have been going through out here. So let's get into this next one.
Post that is a doozy. She says, I left my husband the day after our youngest moved out. He says I've deceived him all these years. All right, so this is what she says. My 49-year-old husband cheated on me. It was 10 years ago when I got a call from school saying that our youngest, then 9, was sick and needed to go home. When I arrived, I heard them in our bedroom and I panicked, made loud noises to let them know they weren't alone and that our daughter was with me. I'm crying just writing this. I still cry when I remember that day. The first year was the hardest on me. I felt so insignificant and inadequate, ugly and undesirable. We started therapy, and my husband promised to do anything to make it work again. We moved apartments, and I bought new furniture, and I started a new habit of changing the sheets every night before bed. All of this wasn't as effective as that one morning when I woke up and realized that I wasn't in love with my husband anymore. After this realization, everything seemed easier moving forward. I saw him as a roommate and a great support raising the children and a good friend.
Well, I mean, it's not easy actually catching them in the act. The fact that he brought somebody to the house, I'm just gonna say the gall, the disrespect. And this is what some men want women to actually accept. Oh, if he did it, it's just a man. You know, it's what men do. Oh, but when a woman does it, everybody, we're gonna raise hell. We're gonna talk about how bad she is. Don't do unto others what you don't want to be done to you. So let's continue.
We love our children and we wanted the best for them. For these next 10 years, we hardly ever fought, and we raised 3 beautiful, happy, and successful young people. When I realized that I didn't love him anymore, I also stopped caring caring what if he did it again. It was one of my nightmares in the beginning. I didn't care anymore as long as I slept in clean sheets every night. Around Christmas, our youngest daughter, who is now 19, got her first contract for her own apartment. That's when I knew I was free. I also set into motion my plans of moving out and getting my divorce. I found myself an apartment too, and I thought my husband can live in our apartment until we settled everything up. When I told him and handed him the divorce papers, he was in shock. And when I moved out the day after my daughter, on April the 2nd, he was even more shocked and distraught. Now he is telling me that I have deceived him all these years, acting like I was fine when I wasn't, while he lived in regret every day for knowing how he hurt me.
Okay, now he's just trying to do the most. Oh, you deceived me. Like, dude, I hate this notion that people say men will go and sleep with women without removing their feelings or not knowing what they are doing because they are not thinking with their brain. No, they do think with their brain. Let me tell you the truth. They do think because there are men out here that don't cheat on their wives because they know what is gonna occur or what is gonna happen when they do that. The men that go out and cheat, they know you are not going anywhere, or they think you're not going anywhere, or they think they can apologize and you can forgive them and say, oh my God, it's just a man. You know, men do this. Yeah, no, they do think, because when it comes to organizing something, even there was another TikToker that was talking about the husband of a friend, pranking her every end of the year. And at one point, the woman decided to divorce him because he would put so much energy to prank his wife every year, once a year, to humiliate her once a year. And he called it a prank, just laughing and making sure that other people were laughing at the wife. He didn't put that energy, all of that energy that he had planning on the pranks every year. He didn't have that same energy to plan something beautiful, something romantic to show her how much he loved her. But he put that energy in making a prank and literally making her feel miserable every year. And homegirl said, you know what, I'm done, I'm going. So she left. She filed the divorce and he started crying out. It was a prank. You didn't put that energy into supporting her, into making a beautiful dinner, into taking her for vacation to Paris or wherever. You put all that energy just to prank her and humiliate her. And at the end of the day, homegirl said, I'm not going to take this anymore. She filed for divorce and he was crying that it was a prank and she left. And this is a true story, by the way. So let's continue. Oh, let me see. I hope. Okay, we are done with that. Done with this. I think we are over here. Okay, let me see.
My husband can live in our apartment until we settled everything up. When I told him and handed him the divorce papers, he was in shock. And when I moved out the day after my daughter on April the 2nd, he was even more shocked and distraught. Now he is telling me that I have deceived him all these years, acting like I was fine when I wasn't, while he lived in regret every day for knowing how he hurt me. I am cold and calculated, and I am vindictive. I don't recognize any of these accusations. I don't see things the way I don't see things that way. I saw it as me and him, of course, doing the best with what I was dealt to make a happy and content life for our children, our whole family, really, and I think I'd succeed. So this is long, and she says, yes, they still had sex, but it was about 2 or 3 years later, and they do it 2 to 3 times a year. So obviously the fact that he didn't know that there was a problem speaks to him, and I will make this a part 2.
Okay, ladies, this next one here is about educated women saying that they are not gonna be, they've accepted now that, you know what, I'm just gonna be single. They accepted now. They're like, you know what, it does nothing if I go out there and just start looking for anyone. I'm just gonna stay home and be single. So let's get into this next one.
Y'all look. This article is available on yahoo.com, and basically what the article states is that Black women, because make no mistake, Black women are the ones who have college degrees in the community, that Black women are finally embracing their singleness and realizing and accepting that they might be single forever. In this article, the author makes it a point to state that Black women are choosing to be single. We are single by choice. The author also mentions that being a single woman is more financially difficult, but single women are
Okay, I'm gonna say I don't think being single is more financially difficult. I don't believe that because you have only yourself to care for. How is it most financially difficult? I feel like they're just trying to say it's more financially difficult so that women can go back into the market. Hey, I can see the trick in that one. So, no. Let's continue.
the largest group of homeowners in the United States, so I wouldn't really pay too much attention to that. And look, ladies, look at this little paragraph.
Let me
Black
go back to where she said Black women are the most, homeowners. And that's where I talked about when he said financially difficult. I'm saying these women have houses, they've bought homes. Like, how is it financially difficult? No, it is not. So let me go back to that particular part where she actually says that.
are the largest group of homeowners in the
Hold
United
on.
States. that Black women are choosing to be single. We are single by choice. The author also mentions that being a single woman is more financially difficult, but single women are the largest group of homeowners in the United States, so I wouldn't really pay too much attention to that. And look, ladies, look at this little paragraph. Black women want to date their equals. Unfortunately, our equals do not exist within our community. If you want a man who has an education and who at least makes the same amount of money as you need to divest and seek greener pastures. Because wanting a man who is educated, who makes good money, does not fit with the Black love fantasy at all. What do y'all think about this article?
I saw this.
Okay. She said it all. I didn't even need to add anything on that particular one. So we're going to move on to the next one.
Reddit thread yesterday and I cackled. He wanted full custody. Now he can't stand being around his kids.
Oh, hold on, lady. Now, this one is the one I absolutely love. This one made me laugh. Like, I laughed because I know situations like this. He thought child support was a lot. And then he finally found out, no, it's not. There is a lot of labor in there. So I'm going to just go back a little bit so that you can hear her from the starting, because this is one of my favorites.
And I cackled. He wanted full custody. Now he can't stand being around his kids. John Smith fought his baby mama to get full custody. The reason full is in quotations because the agreement they have is that he has the kids during the week and mom has them on the weekends. That's not having his kids full time, not in the legal sense anyway. Well, the dude got what he wanted. Today he calls me to complain that his ex is constantly out doing stuff with friends and having the time of her life. He's mad she doesn't have to do any work to get the girls ready for school or their homework. No joke. He even referred to it as always babysitting. He's mad he never has time for himself and now has to revise, and now he wants to revise custody. She said,
Hold on. Now, he has learned what it means to raise kids. This is the thing. When people say, women don't do a lot in the house, I'm like, I've had some men would literally sit around and laugh and be like, I'm paying the bills, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But if you're married, you have time. Your wife is always there with the kids. And men don't think that is labor. Some men absolutely don't think that is labor. They don't. They don't see it as labor. They see it like the woman is enjoying. They think you are actually enjoying. You are having fun. You have your kids and everything. But they can literally come out and say, "Oh no, I have to go for a boys' night out. I need to go to a meeting. I need to go to work. I need to do this and that." And they don't see child raising as a very hard work until they absolutely have the full custody. That is one thing I noticed. When they have the full custody, then you will see them crying and whining and complaining. And now this one wants to reverse it. Oh, if I was, I'd probably be like, nope, you can have them.
You wanted this dude. Let me tell you, this is hilarious because this is literally the life of a single mom. And so this person says, how much do you want to bet that he filed for full custody so he didn't have to pay the mom any child support?
Yeah, we know.
This is where men go wrong. They see raising children as money. They don't see it in terms of time and energy. Kids require a lot of time and energy. It is not just money. That's why when we are sitting up here promoting, give them kids to the dudes, that is why. Let them see how much time and energy it actually takes to raise the kids. Pay them dudes some child support. Pay them. You will still have more time and energy. So the OP, the person that wrote the story, she confirmed that yes, he just didn't want to pay child support. And now that has occurred, he sees how hard it is to actually raise kids. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and the next person says, and now he's mad that she doesn't have to physically take care of the kids except on the weekends. I literally love this for him. So this person says at the bottom, right, because how hard could it be? He is fine. Well, he's finding out. Sweet revenge for every struggling single mom out there. Exactly. This is work. This person says, I work in the family courts. You don't know how common this is. Certain dads will literally go for joint custody to save them a small amount of money on child support. Going for sole custody would be incredibly rare in the country I live in. It's never about the children or what's best for them. It's always about one-upmanship on the mother. Literally had a guy in court looking for joint custody of two preteen girls. He had one bed in the house, one bed. Deluded. He didn't just want to pay
Unbelievable.
for the kids and was only doing it to punish the mother. They usually also have their own mothers in the wings supporting them. This is true, but you guys jump in the comments and tell me what you think. Did you laugh? I laughed. Laugh with me.
I just
Okay. Now, with that last one, I'm very happy. I'm about to close this section with that last story because that one was juicy. I put it at last because yeah. And with that last one, yes, some of them, their mothers are always their wingman. Their mothers be like, you know what? I will take care of the child. And sometimes it doesn't work that way. Maybe if they're lucky enough, their mother might actually take care of the kids. But then they're gonna have to fight with your mom because I know someone personally that his mom is raising his son and he has to fight with the mother because his ex-wife, the ex-wife left. They had this child custody battle that they were going on. And you know what the ex-wife said? She said, you know what, since you wanna act this way, you can have the key. Homegirl left. She was like, see you. She left. And every month, you remember that child support he didn't want to pay to his ex-wife? Yeah, that child support he didn't want to pay to his ex-wife. He had to pay to his mother. So every month, his mom was expecting child support. I'm gonna have to say the mother is a woman that she knows. She just wanted to get money from her son. The mother just wanted to get money from her son. So this man, every month, and I'm gonna tell you when they actually divorced because I was there. Now they got divorced when the child was around the age of 7. The child is already 19 now, so you know how long he's been paying child support to his mother. Yes, he has been paying child support to his mother, and many of the times he comes around and he complains how his mother is and how his mother is complaining that she had to take care of the child. Sometimes they would fight, everybody would hear about it. I'd be like, well, you didn't want the mother of your kid to raise your kid, now you're gonna have to fight with your mother. Sometimes they go weeks, months without talking to each other. And lately they've been having, well, good luck to him now because now the child is around 19, but he's still in school and he still have to pay. He still have to pay. So I'm like, okay, you gotta pay. Let me see what you're paying for your mama. You're gonna pay for clothes for your son. You're gonna pay. He is even paying more than he would have paid if his son was with the mother. He's paying more because the mother will call, I need money for this, I need money for that. And he started calculating, telling us one time, you know what, my mother takes my money more than I would pay child support. I'm like, well, at least you're lucky enough that you have your mom taking care of your son, because if it was you, you would cry more. You would cry because if your mother would have left that child to you and say you raise him after all that problem you gave your ex-wife, after all that fighting you gave your ex-wife, if your mom wanted to punish you more, she would have just dropped the child to you. She would have dropped that boy to you and say, raise him. So now you're going to pay mama for shoes, clothes, extra special activity. If they want to travel, he is crying sometimes talking about it. If I paid all of this, if my ex-wife was the one I was paying all of this, I would have just paid a fixed price. But with my mama, I got to pay for this because she has to talk back to me and tell me how much I don't care about my son and all of that. and I have to pay a lot. Sometimes they don't even talk to each other for months. I'm not even joking with you. And I'm over here, I'm just like, well, that's what you deserve. That's exactly what you deserve. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe, and press that notification button so that you always get a notification whenever I come on. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Thank you all for being here this long. And I hope that you enjoyed this, video, this podcast today, and I hope that you took a lot of information from it. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Have a great day and goodbye, people. Have a great day.